Show for me and you. Mondays to Fridays, ooh, the Traffic Avenue. Traffic Avenue.
City 97.3. Accra.
The entries are in and the marking has officially begun. Who will make it to level 2 of the Literacy Challenge 2026? Listen out for randomly selected entries on Branch in the City and the Traffic Avenue on 97.3 Citi FM and on Breakfast Daily on Channel 1 TV. The top 100 contestants from across Ghana's 16 regions will be announced on Tuesday, 11th August 2026. Next up is level 2, the aptitude test. The top 100 contestants from across Ghana to make it to the next round shall take part in a written aptitude test on Sunday, 16th August 2026 at 12:30 p.m. at the British Council, Accra. Stay tuned, the journey continues. The Literacy Challenge 2026 is powered by Citi FM with support from Channel 1 TV, and it's proudly sponsored by Prospectus Ghana Limited, SIC Insurance, Advocate Publishing, Tema Oil Refinery, and Delhi Group.
When I say ABSA, you say yes. ABSA Banking Tea. We go say yes. This 2026 till your jobs be dropping down. Yes, you listening to me right now. I know you get dreams. And work is here. And they work it well. Like me, I want to buy that Porsche car I've been dreaming of. I move into my dream house. No landlord will send me a bill. Join the ABSA family and let's help you say yes to your dreams with tailored banking solutions from loans, mortgages, credit cards to digital banking and more. Make 2026 the year of yes with ABSA. Your story matters.
City 97.3. Accra.
94, 95, 96, 97.3 City FM. It doesn't get any better than that.
Detailed news, unparalleled coverage. City News on 97.3 FM.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
City News.
It's 5 p.m. Hello, good evening. Welcome to Eyewitness News. Coming to you live from our studios here in Accra. I am Sami Wiafe. Coming up in tonight's edition of the show, President John Dramani Mahama announces changes in his administration, nominating Kenneth Gilbert Ejay as Defense Minister and Dr. Zanetta Rawlings as Minister for Environment, Science and Technology. Tonight, we get details of this mini reshuffle. Also coming up on Eyewitness News, Majority Leader Mahama Yarega has been replaced and removed as Majority Leader, and James Agaga is taking over. He's a Member of Parliament for the Busa South constituency. Tonight, we asked if James Agaga is the man for the job. And later, the National Council of Private Schools petitioned Ministry of Education over what it calls bias following the release of the 2026 BEC results. Stay with us for the next 2 hours as we bring you all these stories and the latest in the world of business, as well as talk back where the views and opinions you express on the stories we bring you tonight on Eyewitness News is read out to you. You can do so by sending your WhatsApp messages to the number 0539 986 996. 0539 986 996. Now, today, President John Dramani Mahama announced some changes to his administration. The president says the Member of Parliament for the Korle-Kote constituency, Dr. Zanetta Rawlings, is now or nominated to the position of Minister of Environment, Science and Technology. And Majority Leader Mahama Yarega is going to be the new Minister for Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs. Also, the President has reassigned some ministers. The Ministry of Defense, which has been vacant for a while, will now have a new head. His name is Kenneth Gilbert Ejay. He was a former Minister for Water Resources, Works and Housing. His position has been taken over by Ahmed Ibrahim, the former local government minister, who is now the Minister for Works, Water Resources and Housing. This was a statement issued today by Minister of State in charge of Government Communication, Phyllis Kwachi Ofosu. Now let's speak to someone who knows the Ministry of Defense very well, because the minority in Ghana's parliament have for months been calling on President Mahama to appoint a minister for the ministry following the demise of the minister then, Dr. Edward Omane-Boamah, whose remembrance was yesterday. Now today the president has fulfilled that particular position, and what would the minority say? Because they've been making calls for the president to appoint a new minister. Dominic Mito is the member of parliament for the Bimbila constituency and a former defense minister under the Akufo-Addo administration. He's joining us for this conversation. Thank you very much for your time. You surprised by this appointment?
Thank you very much, and good evening to you all. No, not at all. I'm not surprised by the appointment. A lot of people will be. But if you put your ears on the ground, and you have security around the Ministry of Defense, intelligence around the Ministry of Defense, and the Jubilee House, this will not come as a surprise to you. It was clear. It was on the writing on the wall that this minister was going to come as the Minister for Defense. And I did tell a couple of friends and acquaintances that they should check him up. He will be the Minister for Defense. I mean, in Parliament, we those who work closely with the security suspect, it was the rumors were too many and too loud that he was coming to be the Minister for Defense. So if you ask me whether I was surprised, I'll say no, not at all. It's just that I thought that this could have happened earlier. In fact, it should have happened earlier because the people of Ghana deserved it to have happened earlier. But if it is about the fact that he is the one who has gotten the nod, I would say no, I'm not surprised at all.
Is this someone you know very well?
Absolutely. Remember that he was the Deputy Minister for Defense under this same president in his first term. And so when I came to the Minister of Defense, I worked closely with him because he was the then Minister to Kumbo. So it was clear that I needed to engage him on a lot of things. Some unfinished projects, some things that they were doing, I didn't understand. I had to call them. He and Kumbo came a couple of times to my office to come and sit with me for us to see how things are going. And so I know him very well. Apart from that, I will not use the word personal friend, but it's somebody who is close to me. We share ideas very, very often. So I would say that I know him.
What are the issues he's likely to be confronted with as he assumes the role of Minister of Defense?
Oh no, there are nothing but the issues. The piracy at the sea, the fact that the military has to deal with Galamsey, the internal security issues, the threat in West Africa, the jihadism that he needs to, the terrorism that he needs to. He really needs to put his foot on the ground and make sure that soldiers have accommodation. It's the biggest single threat within the armed forces. The soldiers don't have enough places to sleep. We started the barracks regeneration program. This government has come. It has not yet been able to continue with it. And it's the single biggest concern among soldiers if you ask them. The second concern is that the soldiers are losing. In fact, Ghana has lost the United Nations peacekeeping missions across the world. So we're just lucky that in our last day, the UN gave us 2 missions. We were able to go to one South Sudan, and the other one we couldn't go for some other reason. But like I said, once you are losing the United Nations peacekeeping thing, you are in big trouble with when it comes to the morale of soldiers, because that's where they go and they're able to have some money to cushion for themselves. They're able to get some either items to cushion for themselves. And so it is a big problem as to how they can make sure that the morale of soldiers is high. That's the second reason, because the salary increment that they are getting now it's not like what we were giving them. So the soldiers don't like it, but at least they were happy with the United Nations. You go and you get some good money, you come back. Now they are losing that. It's being compounded to what is happening. The economic squeeze that is happening now. Thirdly, what the soldiers need to be able to do their work. What do I say? That the Navy needs proper ships to be able to go to sea and defend us. The Air Force needs proper fighting jets and proper helicopters, what we call gunships, to be able to use to fight in the air. You cannot have an Air Force that cannot fight in the air. It's not good enough. Then 3, and more likely, you will need the army to have what they need to be able to defend you. The guns, the equipment that they need to be able to move. We used to buy a lot of armored vehicles for them. We used to buy a lot of guns for them. We used to buy a lot of equipment for them. We used to buy a lot of ammunition for them. These are things that the soldiers use every day. They need to be able to continue purchasing this, and I don't see them doing it. In fact, the last 1.5 years, I haven't seen them doing it, even though they try to buy 1 or 2 armored vehicles from Dubai. I don't think that's good enough. Everybody knows that's not good enough. So they need to be able to do all this, and these are challenges that the minister is going to face. Big challenges in the armed forces, but accommodation is the biggest problem. And once you are recruiting young men and women and don't have a place to sleep, it's a serious matter, and the minister needs to look at it very, very quickly and very clearly.
You talk about the UN mission. What could be the reason why we may be losing out on that? You have an idea?
So it's not a fault of the government, even though I blame them a little bit, because when the United Nations was going to close the Congo mission, I personally then, as defense minister, had to fly to Congo to meet President Tshisekedi, the president of Congo, and negotiate with him. And he wrote to the UN insisting that he wanted Ghana to stay, even though ultimately we lost it. But we got a reprieve for 1 year to add. We got to send out of Lebanon. Asked the United Nations to Milafar, who was the Undersecretary for Peacekeeping. We negotiated and we kept ourselves another 4 years there. But I suspect that because they did not have a substantive minister, when they took the decision to get Ghana out of all these missions, they don't have anybody to go to the United Nations to lobby for us. I don't think they had a strong lobbying voice. And so we have lost out. So when it comes to the decision to take us out, it's the UN that took us out because the UN is not having the money they used to have. Remember that Trump is not paying the amount of money. America used to pay 50%. Trump is not doing it. So the UN does not have the type of money they used to have to be able to take care of all the missions in the US. So they are cutting costs. The UN is cutting costs. And if you are not lucky as a country, you will be the fall. And Ghana was one of the countries that suffered. And so you will see for the first time that Ghanaian soldiers went abroad and were brought back without finishing their mission. And then the Lebanon has suffered, Sudan is suffering. It's a serious moral problem for the soldiers.
Anyway, let's talk about cooperation with the men and officers on there. There's someone who served as a deputy minister, went away for a number of years. Now he's back as the main minister. You think he will get a cooperation of the men and officers on the ground?
There are 2 things that the soldiers, especially the military high command, will look at. If they believe that you, the persons who is appointed as minister, you have the ear and support of the commander-in-chief to give you all the respect and cooperation you are looking for. It will be very sad for a minister to be looking for the president to meet the military high command, and then he's struggling to meet, he has to pass through people. You have a direct line to the president. That's the first thing you must be able to do. The second thing is that how you comport yourself. Soldiers are not kids for you to be giving them command here and there. Yes, it's your duty to pass the policies of the president, the proposals of the president, the policy direction of the president to the soldiers. Trust me, if the thing that you are looking down on them, you don't respect them, you won't get that cooperation. They are not going to openly say it because soldiers live by command, experience, and indirectly. When you interact with them, the way you will talk to them, the way you move with them, you would either let them respect him or not respect him. But I think that from the little I know about him, that side he will succeed. And I also know that he has the ear of the president. Trust me, I know that for a fact he has the ear of the president. But he's supposed to put these 2 things together and get the military high command to move effectively with him. So the CDS and the army commander, plus the chief of staff, and I know all of them because they all worked under me and they are fine gentlemen. So I suspect that they will find a way of gelling together to move the nation forward. Because look, it's in our interest for the Ministry of Defense to be quiet and just do their professional work. It is not in our interest to start having trouble at the Ministry of Defense. So I will not wish him bad. I will not wish him that. I will wish that he succeeds. In fact, genuinely, I wish that he succeeds at the Ministry of Defense because it is not in our interest as a nation to start having trouble, to start having soldiers shoot at the barracks because they are dissatisfied or making mutiny because they are not happy or making noise. it is always in the interest of the nation to have the barracks quiet, soldiers doing their work, and when they are called, and that they are loyal to the government, the state, at every time, at every point in time. You need soldiers who should be very loyal to the state at every point in time. So once you have the president, they will loyal to, once you are not the president, they are loyal to the next person. And that's how soldiers are supposed to behave. So I suspect that he will succeed, but he needs to earn their trust. He cannot just wish it and think that he will succeed just like because, oh, I'm a friend to the president, or maybe I've been there before. No, it doesn't work like that. He has to work hard to show that he wants to succeed, and he will succeed.
I've heard people say that the deputy minister who was there, Boja Jemfi, could have been elevated to be the minister for defense because he's been, more or less there for a while. And so the experience was enough for him to have been the main minister. What do you make of those comments?
Sometimes I worry about the two of them working together. But they are both from Ashanti, so I have at the back of my mind that they could work together. But if you are not careful and you have a deputy minister who has been there literally running the ministry on behalf of the president, even though the minister of finance was the then acting minister, but you know that practically the deputy minister ran the ministry. And if he does not give his cooperation to the incoming minister, I understand that there will be issues. But knowing both of them, I think that they should be able to sit there and resolve their problem. But if they cannot resolve their problem, there will be real issues there. I just hope that they can resolve their problems. At the end of the day, they're all serving the same president. But some presidents would have made a change of the deputy minister. I don't know whether the president will want to give them a chance to see whether they can work together before he would decide that. But I suspect that if he begins to see that they cannot work together, there will be a big change at the Minister of Defense.
Let's talk about Dr. Zanetta Rawlings. The president has named her as the Minister for Environment, Science and Technology. She currently serves as the chairperson of the Defense and Interior Committee. A lot of people speculated that she was going to be the possible replacement to the late Dr. Edward Omanebuama. Were you surprised that her name was not shown in here?
No, she still no chance at all. Right? Especially the month of July, when information started. The president wanted to do a shuffle in July. The information we kept getting was that she still no chance at all. The best possible chance was to have given her the position that originally they wanted to give to her, even at the beginning of this government, which is Minister of State, or to go to where she has been taken to environment. But at defense, it was almost certain that it was going to be this minister who has been given the portfolio. Because anybody who in the minister who was working with the Minister of Defense and put his ears on the ground, even those around the president knew that the reshuffle would have happened or was going to come. The replacement for the Minister of Defense was going to come in July, and that it will be Ken who will get it. I don't want to, because my good friend Mane is gone, I don't want to say something, but if he was there, the party himself will contend that young man was a big contender to the Minister of Defense at the beginning, even at the very beginning. He was a big contender before Mane got that position. So I'm not surprised that he got it. So the Zanetta was not really in the running at all.
Let's go to
the president. Every one of us obviously will have our say, but ultimately the president is the one who will decide, and he has decided this is what I want, and we will all move on with it. Let's see how the performance will go. But it's a tough job for him.
Let's go to Parliament now. Your good friend Mahama Yariga is no more the majority leader. James Agaga is the one replacing him, per the information that we have. You're surprised by these changes in the House?
No. I don't know what I did, but if I didn't, then maybe it was a thought that I was saying, because again, most of the rumors that were hiding was that that was moving around was that Ayaga was going to replace Ken at the Ministry of Western Housing. I actually mentioned this to Patrick Wama, that this is what I'm hearing, that Ayaga will move. And it's also true. Again, there are some developments that happened in Parliament, which you knew because you've been always in Parliament. That it was almost clear that Ayaga could not have continued as a majority leader. Completely. There's no way that he could have continued. And he himself knew that he needed to move out of parliament as a majority leader because of those type of developments. So I know that I'm not surprised that Ayaga had moved. Now, one of the most senior MPs that they have on their side is the MP who has been given a position of majority leader. And I think that
before you go there, Mr. Nitu, let's just stay with Mr. Mahama Yariga. What do you think will be the effect of this reshuffle at the front bench of the majority? Now Yariga is leaving.
So,
do you think it will bring some disruption in there?
No, not really. Because of the numbers that they have in parliament, they might not. What the new majority leader will have to do is to win the confidence of his senior members and then the entire caucus, the NDC caucus. If he's able to win that, he will not have a problem. I also know that he has a good working relationship with a lot of them. And a lot of them sympathize with, because they do believe that he was supposed to have been a minister. A lot of people in parliament believe that he should have been a minister. So I think that they do have a lot of confidence sympathy for him, and maybe it will translate to confidence. It may not, but I suspect it will translate to confidence. And I'm not sure that we are going to say that because Ayaga immediately left, it will just bring some rankles. No. But at the same time, we know that Agaga has not held leadership position in parliament at all, never. And it's a different kettle of fish. Being a senior member as he is, because he's a mate to our current minority leader, is different from doing the job and staying with it and having control. So he's been moved from the chairman for defense. He was a ranking member and now chairman for defense and ranking, straight into leadership to help people who were already there before him. The deputy leader who was there before him, we had the chief who was there before him, two deputy leaders who were there before him, and now he's looking a way to come and head them. I can say that he needs to find a way of managing them, and it depends on how he goes about his leadership skills. If he's able to go about it well, he's but if he cannot go about it well, trust me, he will fail. Because he's also facing a minority bench that is very rich in experience, extremely rich in experience. From the leader to the defense deputy with, they are very rich in experience. They've done this job, they've been there, they know that in and out, they know how to wet you up, they know how to give you problems, they know how to tickle you, they know how to flare you, to make you flare up in parliament. They know the tricks. And so if he does not learn the ropes quickly and sharply, when we come back to do, because they are very crafty, and well vexed in parliamentary work, and they know what to do to get to their point. That's why I said somewhere that NDC may be 188 MPs working with them. We are 87, but I tell you that the 87 MPs that we have may and will overrun the majority because of the way we are going to organize ourselves and the way our leaders are organizing us. So I'm clear in my mind that he's going to face a tough battle. He's my friend, also my brother. He's a very, very close friend of mine, and he's my brother too. And when I say close, he's a close friend of mine.
Okay, Honorable Nitu, thank you. Thank you very much for your time. Dominic Nitu is the Member of Parliament for the Bimbilla constituency and former Defense Minister. Also joining us is the new Majority Leader and the Member of Parliament for the Busa North constituency, James Agaga. Thank you very much for your time, and I'm sure congratulations will be in right order.
Thank you so much, Sammy.
Were you surprised with this announcement?
Well, Sammy, I was a little bit surprised, but well, once the confidence has been reposed to me to serve as majority leader, I think that I am ready and willing to serve in that capacity.
There are many who will say that you haven't held leadership position before in the House. Just a while ago, I was speaking to Dominic Nitu. He believes that you haven't held any leadership position before, and you are coming against a minority leadership which is strong, experienced enough, and can really bully you, using the word advisedly. Are you prepared for the minority bench, which Nitu says may bully you?
Well, Sabi, I would like to thank His Excellency the President, the chairman of my party, the General Secretary, and the entire leadership for the confidence they have reposed in me. All I can say is that when I settled down to serve in the capacity as majority leader, I placed the interest of Ghanaians, first, and work to ensure that the mandate that was given to the NDC is executed to the best of the ability of the government and the NDC party. In doing this, like I said before, the interest of the Ghanaian would be placed first. As for the minority leadership and what they can do and cannot do, how I would approach leadership, how to accommodate and to deal with them, I think that the end shall justify the means. But, Sabi, you have known me for quite some time. Do I look like somebody who can be bullied? We leave the rest for the people to judge when we settle down to work. But I want to assure you that I am not new to leadership in Parliament. I have been ranking member for 8 solid years. I am currently the chairman of the Defense and Interior Committee. And so to that extent, it cannot be said that I am new to leadership. I am a 4-term member of Parliament. And so, Sami, I do not think that any colleague of mine in the House can bully me. But like I said, the end shall justify the means. I thank the leadership of my party once again, the President, the Chairman, for the confidence they have reposed in me. I will not let the people of Ghana down.
Leader, have you engaged your people yet? Your caucus, I mean?
No. I mean, the news broke only today. So I'm sure in due course we'll have the opportunity to have those engagements. Remember that we are on recess. As we speak, I am in my constituency. We experienced some flooding there, so I am in the constituency in an attempt to coordinate some relief effort for the victims of the flooding.
Talking about the flooding, what is the situation?
Well, it was terrible. The rains, poured in very heavily, and most of my roads have been washed away. Farms have been affected. Homes have been affected. It's quite sad, but we are working around the clock to try to bring some relief to the people. Fortunately, the NADMO has assured us that they have dispatched a team accompanied with some relief items to assist us. So I'm sure in the coming days, we should be able to ameliorate the suffering of the victims of the floods. Again, the highways has started working to try to save some of our roads from total collapse. That is the good news I at least have for now. But in the course of time, I'm sure we should be able to coordinate the relief effort in a manner that would bring some relief to my people.
Talking about relief, apart from NADMO intervention, what have you personally also done for the people?
First of all, I had to stay back in Accra and coordinate the relief effort. I reached out to NADMO. Again, I was constantly knocking at the doors of the CEO of the Ghana Highways Authority and, of course, the Minister for Roads. And that is how come they quickly instructed that something be done immediately to ensure that the main road leading into Sandema Township does not suffer total collapse. So it's refreshing to know that my efforts have yielded some dividends.
Leader, thank you very much for your time. James Agaga, Majority Leader and Member of Parliament for the Busa North constituency. Thank you very much for your time and congratulations. Let's still stay on the majority bench and speak to Richard Echampo. He's the second deputy majority whip and also member of parliament for the Bia East constituency. Thank you very much for joining us. You have a new leader. Your reaction?
Thank you very much for the opportunity. I think in democracy, these are some of the expectations one would expect. Always there are changes. Always you need to put people where they can also function effectively. And we all know that 2 vacancies were created through the printers, and people were following the president to fill that vacancy. So I think the president has walked the talk, and then has taken a decision to fill that 2 vacancies. So first, Mama is going to look at that. Secondly, we need somebody to fill in that gap. And then it fell on Honorable Gaya, who is a nice gentleman. We all came to Parliament together. So I think our working relationship will not be that bad. So I take this opportunity to congratulate him on our working into leadership. We are going to work together and make sure the caucus remains strong and stronger.
Now that your former leader, Mahama Yariga, is not available and in the front line now, you are having James Agaga, what will be the strategy?
We have 5 in leadership, and we are on break now. So we don't have serious activities ongoing, apart from committee work and other international travels. So officially, the party will communicate when we resume. We'll meet the caucus and introduce the new leader to the caucus for acceptability. But so far, so good. I haven't read or heard any negative comment about the appointment. So I know the caucus is going to endorse him 100%, so that we'll start working together.
The minority. Just a while ago, I spoke to Dominic Nito, a member of the minority and a former defense minister. He believes that because Agaga is new and someone who's not held any leadership position within parliament, he believes that the minority front, with experience and everything, may be in a position to bully him as majority leader. As one individual who is also part of the majority leadership, you think the minority will be able to bully your new leader?
It's far from that. Because if you remember, he's been a deputy interior minister before. He is now the board chair of Ghana Airport Company. And he's a committee chairperson. He has been around, this is 4th term. And so he knows the do's and don'ts of the house. And on the floor of the house, you can hear him contribute to bills, especially when it comes to legislative instruments and all that. So it's not some walkover person that the minority is going to walk over him. It's far from that. He's a very strong person. Very strong person. So that one is just a political talk. You will see his performance. When he has been around for years, he has understood many leaders who have come and gone. So I don't think it will be a walkover.
You talk about endorsement. Is it that the caucus will meet and endorse him and vote on him? Because we know of what happened some time back when the speaker raised issue about changes in leadership that was done outside parliament, done at the party headquarters and brought in here. What's the process going to be like?
You know, we starting with this. The caucus have a position that at least they have to choose their own leaders. But the party hierarchy is also there. So before they will do this, they will do some consultations and they will get a feedback indicating that there's about 99% endorsement. So in this case, if you present the person, there's no way anybody is going to use an eyebrow. But for our records and then to bring sanity to the caucus, officially, you have to be outdoor. In this case, we'll call for a caucus meeting and then the name will be announced. And we just stop acclamation, then we are done with the process. It's not like we are going to vote for or against, no. But to show respect to the caucus, they will come and announce to the caucus that now this is your new leader, cooperate with him and other leaders to execute government projects in the house. That's all. It's not about voting, no.
talking about consultation, were you consulted before this decision was taken? I mean, not you as an individual. I mean, the leadership.
Oh yes. He's coming to work with people. Do you understand? So if there's some kind of acrimony, there's no way the front will be stable. So always 1 or 2 talks will go on before the announcement will come out. So there's no difficulty at all. Like I told you, somebody who has been around for years. Now, if you look at the front bench, 4 of us came together. Myself, Bill, Agaga, Rekit, all of us came together. Apart from Roxanne, who's a third empty. So it's like our work relationship is perfect. We don't have any issue with any other person.
Richard, thank you very much for your time. Richard Champion, second deputy majority
welcome, my brother.
and MP for Bia East. This is Eyewitness News coming to you live from our studios here in Accra. Later, we'll bring you Talk Back, where the views and opinions you express on the stories we bring you tonight on Eyewitness News will be read out to you. I encourage you to send those messages to the number 0539 986 996. 0539 986 996. We go for a quick break. When we come back, the Ghana National Association of Private Schools have petitioned the Ministry of Education to commission an independent review of the West Africa Examination Council marking scheme for the 2026 Basic Education Certificate examination.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Everybody they sell, but your shop they empty.
Where's my report?
Bro, month no end here too. But see, your pocket stop they take. Another emergency for the house?
Come get ideas. Ideas go kill them.
Another idea, another mark time. No capital to start. For some people, this silence no be peaceful. It be money matter.
With bills, there's no need for silence. From my emergency loans to salary loans to working capital loans and startup loans, Bills has you covered.
Apply with your Ghana card today. Call 0596 920 833 or 0302 200 390. Bills, financing your needs. T's and C's apply.
Looking for engineering excellence you can trust?
Welcome to Left Signature Limited, driving progress through technology and engineering excellence.
From expert electrical engineering design, installation, power systems, renewable energy, automation and control,
to reliable data center and managed services, power infrastructure, network connectivity, server virtualization, cloud integration, and data security.
and cutting-edge software development, custom business applications, web and mobile apps, cloud and DevOps solutions.
Integrity, safety, accountability, teamwork. That's the Left Signature promise.
And now, introducing the Left Power app.
Request for our services anytime, anywhere. Available on the Play Store, App Store, and on the web.
Ready to power your success?
Choose Left Signature Limited. Visit www.leftsignature.com.
Call +233 256 111 811.
Left Signature Limited. Engineering excellence for a connected future.
Frustrated with outdated banking experiences? You deserve an app that makes your life easier, not harder. Say hello to the CBG mobile app, your new cool way to handle everything banking. With biometric security, lightning fast mobile money access, and one-touch bill payments, banking has never been this smooth. Stop imagining when you can live a life where your entire banking world is in your pocket, ready whenever you need it. No stress, no fuss. Don't settle for less. Experience a more superior, convenient way of banking today with the CBG mobile app. Banking made cool, fast and secure. Welcome to the good life. CBG. We stand with
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/City97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/City973, and Instagram at instagram.com/City973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
And remember, Eyewitness News is also live on Premier 100.5 FM, Beach 105.5 FM, and Sky 93.5 FM in Takrady. In the Bono region, Eyewitness News is also live on Greener 95.9 FM in Sunyani. In the Ashanti region, we are live on Orange 107.9 FM in Kumasi. In the Eastern region, hear us on Right 90.1 FM in Somanya. In the Volta region, we are live on Holy 98.5 FM in Aflao. In the Northern region, we are live on Dasuma 99.1 FM in Yendi. And in the Upper East region, we are live on Word 88.3 FM. Also live on Mike 105.3 FM in Navrongo and Boga 102.7 FM in Bogatanga. And in the Upper West region, you can hear us on Popoli 92.7 FM in Wa. Now, the Ghana National Association of Private Schools have petitioned the Ministry of Education to commission an independent review of the West Africa Examination Council marking scheme for the 2026 Basic Education Certificate Examination. The association says the request follows concerns over what it describes as the unfair treatment of candidates from private schools in this year's examination. Presenting a petition at the Ministry of Education, the Executive Director of the association, Enoch Kwesi Jetwa, says the Ministry of Education must investigate their concerns. He's here with us for more on this. Welcome, Kwesi, and thank you very much for your time. Before we go into your petition, what is your problem with WAEC?
Thank you very much, and good evening to your listeners, and also good evening to you. Let me do this correction. My name is Obenfo Nana Kwesi Jetwa.
Okay.
So let's correct that so that going forward. And then I am the Executive Director for Ghana National Council of Private Schools. We have two associations that have jointly put together this petition. And so I am the Executive Director for the Private Schools Council, and then we have the other association members also joining. You asked of what is my problem with WAEC. My problem with WAEC is that WAEC has operated within this country for 74 years. And as that, we believe that at this point, would have been getting better services as a service provider from them. We are tired of every day being heard that there's this examination malpractices, there's this sort of leakages, cancellation, and all sort of issues affecting assessment. I am much particular about assessment because in this country, and if you look at our educational system, to be able to climb a ladder or career path, you need to be able to really be scored that you have achieved the learning attainments. And these attainments are determinable or determined by WAEC. And so a body that determines the future of the country must be held accountable, must be always put on check, so that people's career and life will not be wasteful. That's my main concern about ensuring that WAEC does what it is expected of them to be able to get the best out of them. And always, it's very important to put it on record that if there's any organization that works and feel that they are independent and whatever they bring out to the people, they should take it hook, line, and sinker, then it means that such organization is prone to disasters. Such organization is trying as much as possible not to deliver what they are expected. And we Ghanaians, as citizens, we have a duty to ensure that institutions are brought to check. And so that's my role as a Ghanaian, as a leader for Council for Private Schools. And so it is not a problem. It is just more or less like quality assurance check. And then they have to be very happy with that. It's a quality assurance check to be able to ensure that such kind of services is a very crucial service that they offer. How can you say that over 600,000 students are going to write BEC, and the condition precedent to the commencement of the BEC is that 4% out of these 600,000 will only score aggregate 1 in every subject. 4%. And so what it means is that a huge number of students that they could have scored, say, aggregate 1 and qualified to do certain courses for certain kind of profession that are needed, like engineering, science, media work and all that, they will be denied. And then you say that 20% of them will get aggregate 5 or 6. You have predetermined that without even knowing the potency of whether or not the learners will be able to respond to the test items. And so what are we doing as a country? You have 600,000 students going to write BEC. Before they will sit down, you said, I'm using a system called Steiner system. And that Steiner system had already programmed in such a way that only 4% of the total number.
Were you aware of this Steiner system? Were you aware of it before the examination started?
My brother, the point is that we have not been properly briefed. And we thank God that this whole week, we've taken this kind of journey and these revelations are coming out.
Were you aware, yes or no?
It's not by whether I can answer you in an affirmative way. When you say, am I aware, what is the definition? Is it that they have given us
because you said
documents?
I'm coming. Because you say you're not properly briefed. So it means you were aware, but you didn't have the details of it.
And so I cannot say that I'm aware. I will become aware after I have the details. And I'm sharing the details with you. Now, and so the fact that it is a passing information, I wouldn't sit here and assume that that has become, a point of knowing. Because if I know, I should be able to speak facts on that. You get it? Exactly. So it doesn't mean that when someone is pushing information where I haven't read it and I have not asked all the necessary questions, it has not been clarified, I would go on and say that I was aware. I have not cited any documentation written to the council that over 22,000 private schools that we, supervise that, this is the grading systems. These are the things that we are doing until we push them and these things are coming up. And so my brother, let us try as much as possible. And even, is that my responsibility? You are the assessment agency. As a service provider, we pay you through our taxes. We give you all the necessary support. And so it is your responsibility to ensure that these factuals reaches each and every home and everybody becomes aware. So on that score, we the private schools associations, that is NACOPS and NAPS, we have taken a decision to ensure that accountability is brought back in our system, in terms of our educational system. And so we've petitioned the Ministry of Education and we sorted, permission with the minister last week. Today he granted it. We have petitioned the minister and the assurance is that, yes, he's going to set up a probe in order for us to ensure that an independent body will look into the issues. And that's all we are calling for. And I don't see why people are shivering. And yesterday, I was so alarmed where WAEC is running helter-skelter, trying to organize press conference to come and say that private schools are saying they are going to, private schools are laying blames on them. Look, you are an agency. You have conducted an assessment. After the assessment, people are saying that they are not happy about the score that you have given. It's your facts against my facts. Is it not so? Why do you want me to bring my facts to you and call your own?
But you are making those allegations, or you are making the allegations. So if you are calling for equity, you must present your fact. But I'm coming. Okay. You must present what you claim to be the facts. So you can have an independent body check with that of YX2. So if they are making claims that bring the evidence that you have, it's just so right and proper that you bring those evidence.
To who? I'm making allegation against you. And let me probably also put this thing here. It is not generally entirely true that anyone who makes allegations must prove.
Then how do you make the allegation?
Take your time.
If you don't have the evidence?
I'm telling you that it is not entirely true. Or generally, the general principle may be that he who's alleges must prove. Yeah. But there are exceptions. There are exceptions. And so we may not know whether our situation falls within the exception. And so let us not go there, who should prove, who should not prove. What we are saying in that, and let me tell you, we have been with these learners for over 12 years. And the credible witness to be able to testify the academic performance and behavioral performance or behavioral character of these learners are the private schools than any other, stakeholder within the education system. You cannot use your 2 hours within that scorchy sun to assess a child and be able to judge the child that the child is good or bad.
But that is the accepted
I'm
procedure.
Coming. And that is why we have come out to say that, look, based on the work that we have done, based on the information and the data that we have, let us set up an independent body devoid of any shroud of, say, bias and whatever. And then we can now proceed to deliver our evidences. And we are also reminding you that you have the scripts of the learners. And so prepare to bring the scripts. You see the point? Because we have the data. After this conversation, I will push a certain information to you as a journalist and for you to conduct your own investigation. But just to put it on air, someone who is a Fulani, who does not even know how to speak Ghanaian language like Tree, registered Tree, get aggregate 1. And the child himself is saying that myself, I didn't even register for what? For Tree. Put it aside. Last 6 months, some of the students wrote private BEC and got aggregate 1, aggregate whatever, best grades. This period of time, they wrote the BEC and they've been given aggregate 35, 40, and the rest. A child who hails from Atebubu, a brilliant science girl, who, stood or contested for maths and science quiz in her cluster of schools, got the first, made the first in the district, he made the first in the region, came to national NATWA, they did the contest, and the lady got 3rd. This child wrote the BEC, and now she's giving aggregate 7.
But it could be that the BEC she didn't do well.
And that is why
it could be.
And that is why we are saying it could be. So we are not certain. Look at the construction.
But you know when
look
school,
at the construction.
I'm coming. Kwesi, hold on.
Yeah, my brother.
You know, when we were in school, there was always the argument that people who do well in the classroom do also not do well during the examination.
Exactly, but this
you hear all these things all the time, and so it could be there could be a possibility like that.
So those are hearsay, but we are talking about evidence.
Hearsay?
Yes, they are talking about,
as a teacher yourself. You never encountered those things.
I'm saying that those are hearsay. Where is your proof? You were asking me about my proof. We were all saying this. These students that we are talking about, I've taken you through the steps that they have already tested the BEC before. You get the point. And we have evidences to that. And so we are saying that, yes, indeed, there's something somewhere. Let us call for an independent body. Not you, WAEC. Because every year we come to you and the stories are the same. The stories don't change. The stories keeps on coming. So let us set up an independent body. The independent body will be tasked to do things for us to understand whether the fault is coming from us, or it is coming from WAEC, or it is coming from a source that we all have not even averted our mind to. In order to chart a path, we cannot be wallowing around these whole issues every day and then. So let us set up an independent body. Review, audit your work. Why are you afraid? Why are you running away? I don't believe that any institution
they are not running away. Yesterday, if you're listening to Mr. Kapi, he said they are ready. They are open. They are ready for an audit. They are ready for a remarking. And so they are not running away.
I know what I'm saying. I have also spoken to WAEC on numerous platforms, and they are saying that the script, which is the primary source to determine the 60 marks that you gave it to the child, is their bona fide property. And we are saying you are lying. You can't say that because we paid for that. That examination script is for us. Even if you are keeping it in your custody, it does not belong to you. And so we will need it to verify the point. We will need it to find out whether or not the evidence or the mark that you gave correspond or commensurate with whatever the child wrote. What's wrong with that? I have paid you. You have taken the money. Those students who were not able to pay, you didn't allow them to write. So my ability to write was dependent on the ability to pay. I've paid you. You've rendered a service. I'm saying that service that you've rendered is not convincing. And so I don't want you again to determine or convince me. We need an independent body to be able to ascertain whether or not the point that you have given to me or the grade that you have given to me, my brother, is the best. And you are saying that you are an independent body and so you are WAEC. I'm telling you today that you are working within the soil of Ghana.
Is it the first time we are seeing this, or has it been there, but you decide to come out this time round?
You see, when I came here, you were asking me the first question that, where is your evidence? And so we have been in a room for a very long time before coming out.
So this is not new. It's something that happens over again.
But this year, one day for the master, one day for the thief. And so we have been in the room for a very long time, studying all the protocols and ensuring that we don't just come out without knowing what we are saying. And so nobody should just take us for a joke. We really know what we are saying. Let the independent body be set today. WAEC should bring the scripts. We will also go there with our evidences. Thank God that today we have a lot of artificial intelligence that when you put the system, the document to it, it will, within some minutes, it will give you the outcomes. And we all will be shaking our heads in this country. And so, let us wait, because the welfare of the child is supreme. The welfare of the child is supreme. We are all trying as much as possible. You'll be happy to see the next of you who be sitting in this console and be moderating the person. You are not happy to see a child who has committed so much, who has devoted so much to academic excellence. And by the end of the day, the child is not getting what will push the child to sit in this chair. And I don't believe that is your spirit. You see? And so what we are doing is that, but even the entire country is on reset agenda. Is it not so? Ghana has, there has been a lot of reset agenda. Ghana, today I saw a post where the law school is making an advert for students. Isn't it not beautiful? Why is it that Nigeria, they are also part of WAEC? Why is it that they saw the need and then that monopoly was broken? So a different or another assessment body was fashioned out. What you see?
You want a similar thing here in Ghana?
But why is it that we have to entrust?
You want a similar thing here in Ghana?
Perfectly so. It's long overdue. It's long overdue. Today, assuming with the only platform we have here is GBC. Will I be sitting here be talking to you? Will you also be sitting here? And so at any point in time, a monopolistic system is put in place. You are certain that there are a lot of unperformed incompetencies things will happen.
What other reforms are you hoping to see at WAEC?
The first thing is that the Steiner system, which predetermines even before the students sit for the exam, should be taken away. The non-referencing is not the best for the country, because even the basic education itself, the examination itself is basic. Go to your dictionary and find the word basic. Why should we make it so complex for students to or for parents to even understand? Now, if I ask you that, what is the basic way of assessing a child? Will you make reference to the Steiner system, where before you write the exams, we say that 4% of the students who are going to write, irrespective of the number, is going to get aggregate 1? So that should be out. And I did a search. Let your researchers find out. It is only Ghana that is holding on to Steiner system. And so we don't need it. We need reference system that we know that 80 to 100 is 1. 90 to this is 2. This to this is that. So that everybody It's basic. So why should we make the whole thing complicated? The second aspect of it is that WAEC work as a country, they've done a lot. And we thank them. 74 years in service is enough. Even if they happen to be human, they are on their retirement. Ghana Education Service started as the sole regulator, the sole education deliverer in Ghana. But as we speak now, we even have TVET as TVET service, because day in, day out, reformation comes out. Ghana Education Service was curriculum developer, teacher recruiter, teacher insurer, everything. But as we speak now, Ghana Education Service has been given a mandate. That mandate, part of it has been taken away. It's being given to TVET.
But they still do the supervision thing.
We are talking about your mandate. What I'm trying to say is that the previous architecture of Ghana Education Service has gone through a lot of reformation. And now a lot of agencies has been able to come out from Ghana Education Service. That shows that the country is growing. Why is it that a system that has been there for 74 years, even older than Ghana, is still the same system? And so we are calling for that break of monopoly. Beautiful today, where you go online, where, potential lawyers have the choice of saying that I'm going to Legon, I'm going to Ghana Law School, I'm going to even a private institution to do law. See how beautiful it is. Why is it that at the basic, we only have one assessor, and every day examination is leaking, And I don't think I am the best even for you to remind you of that. And I hope that this raining, that the flooding have not taken their script away. You saw that their script have been,
they denied it. They denied
well,
it.
I'm saying, so that is even a good information for me that's the good information for me that at any point in time we call them for them to bring the script, they wouldn't say that the flood had taken their script away. So that denial is very good.
Okay, which other reform are you looking at?
These are the only two. We want another assessment body to complement the effort of WAEC to ensure that people who have different, understanding, modernity of assessment should come in. Now, when you go to the people that we have learned a lot of lessons from them in terms of education, they don't subject their citizens, they don't subject their learners to one monopoly of assessment. It's not done anywhere. And yesterday, I was very happy that the WAEC PRO was saying that their system is an international benchmark. Internationally, we don't have one country, one assessment body in any way. So if you benchmark your systems, advise that no, there must be another body. Let us bring competition into the system so that people can feel that if you're sick and you are lackadaisical about your work will go away from you because you are a service provider. The mere fact you are a service provider giving you that mandate does not mean that you are above accountability. You are within this country and it is my tax that is being used to pay you. Tell me that it's not my tax. Then I know. But if you admit that my tax has been able to help you as a service provider, you owe me accountability.
Did the ministry give you when they will commission this probe into your issue?
The ministry, we have to use your platform to thank the Minister for Education, who has shown much commitment to private education in Ghana. First of all, over 85 private senior high schools have been added to the free senior high school policy. Today, when we met the deputy minister who represented the minister, he assured us that there's going to be a probe. And I'm telling you, Tuesday, we are meeting WAEC and other stakeholders in Parliament. Why yesterday they didn't tell the people that they have been caught? I can tell big stakeholders have taken interest in this matter.
So you mean the Education Committee of Parliament?
I'm telling you.
So on Tuesday you have a meeting.
Exactly.
And WAEC will be present.
Exactly. And from there we will progress. I'm telling you that major stakeholders in education and other, civil society organizations have taken key interest in this matter. And we thank God that we have been, advocates for this. Because over the years, people see WAEC as if they are a homogeneous group that you cannot go to them. You cannot assess me, and today you are telling me that bring your script for me to reassess you again. Why should I do that? Why should I come to you as a coach or as a lawyer, as a judge, as a clerk, everything? Then my case is with you and you determine my fate for me. We can't do that. We can't continue to be slaves like that as a country. We can't. It doesn't lie positively anywhere. And so that has been agreed upon. And then the minister had assured us that he's going to convey the petition to the substantive minister, which is the Honorable Haruna Idrisu.
Yeah.
And definitely they will hear from them. And we know the ministry. It's an interesting conversation. Because you see, there are 3 pillars in education: curriculum, instruction, and assessment. If you are coming from the background from the American understanding of education. So we have the CIA, the curriculum, the instruction, and assessment. And assessment influences the instruction. You see, it therefore also takes inspirations from the curriculum. And so it is very key. And I can tell you, when you go to the streets, go to some of the, market areas, you meet a nice gentleman who speaks very well, intelligent, but by the virtue of the fact that he wrote BEC or he wrote WASI, he didn't get the good grades, that child or that person has been rendered useless in the system. And we need not to be doing that. We need to also have alternative way of assessing Ghanaian resources or Ghanaian potential leaders. And that, so that this STEM that we are talking about, have you all sat down to ask ourselves that, is WAEC having the requisite skill and materials to assess learners who are doing STEM, who are creating robotics and all that? These are Fiakobi students who were able to come out with the miniature of aeroplane and all that, or craft and all that. How are you going to assess such a child with this way of standardized system that you have already predetermined 4% who will get aggregate 1? And so let us have conversation, positive conversation, devoid of any kind of I am this, I am that, I am that.
How many of your learners are affected?
Good.
With this?
You know, we represent over 22,000 private schools in Ghana. And this year,
22,000
private schools in Ghana. We contribute to 48% of the total growth or total delivery of pre-tertiary education in Ghana. You see? And so this year, the number that partook or that wrote the BEC from the private schools is within 150,000 to 200,000.
Out of the 600,000.
Out of the 600,000.
That's huge.
And even, you know what? Because of these policies that has been affecting most of the private schools, when your child gets to basic 8, the majority of them move to join what? The public schools. You see. Meanwhile, the Constitution of Ghana, Article 25, Clause 2, had given us the mandate to operate as private educators in Ghana. And I can tell you, this Tesano that your beautiful studio is, assuming you want your ward to be closer to you and monitor his or her educational delivery, ask yourself, how many government schools within this area? Ask yourself. Go to Cantonment. Go to East Legon. You see, you realize that there are no public schools enough to absorb the numbers that are within those areas. And so the relevant player or a strategic player is a private educator. And that is why I always say that in the wisdom of the framers of this constitution, they were so wise. I have a whole geographical area called Abusuakrua in Ashanti region. That Abusuakrua, when you go there within that enclave, my brother, you wouldn't see a single public school serving the community people. And so this is how it is interpreted. It is like you have paid your tax, which ought to have been used to provide quality education to you by public. The public is not giving it to you. And so he said, okay, don't worry, I wouldn't worry you as a public. I am now taking my child to a private. I will continue to pay my tax. And so I am doing double for this country. Okay. That is how it means. If you see every 35 students in a classroom, what it means is that the educational policy, that those 35 students have been saved by a cost of keeping a teacher in a public school. Because the law, the policy is that the classroom must be 35. And if it is 35, those students ought to have been taught by a public school teacher or a teacher. That teacher must have been taking care of social security, all those things, their salaries and everything ought to have been paid by the government. But because the state is developing, there's a need for us to keep these learners in private schools. So what do? We just have to listen and take care of these people in the private schools. You see, when COVID came, let me give you a revelation. When COVID came, there was this government stimulus package that government want to support the private schools. I was contacted to say, okay, give us a picture of a month, how much private schools contribute to the coffers of the country. We did a sample test. We took 4,000 schools across the country from different regions. Out of the 4,000, we had 89,000 teachers. And we calculated the payee, the SNIT contribution, and it was 30 million contribution every month.
Just 4,000 out of the 22,000.
I'm telling you. We don't want to talk about the kind of, you see, do you know the reason why the free SHS...
Do that for me in 5 minutes, because we need to check out.
Okay. Do you know the reason why the free SHS policy, when the private schools were taken out, then it resulted of double track and all that? Because access has increased. People are now having access to schools, but there are no vacancies. And so private schools that are being taken out, the pressure is on government. Now the private school, 85 private schools have been added. Ask yourself, look at how government has lessened the burden.
Okay, so now you've gone to the education ministry. We also hear that you want to go to Shraj, or you've gone to Shraj. Is that it?
Oh, for Shraj, we have already been with Shraj. This thing, that's why I said it started
where you went to Shraj to do what?
That is why I'm saying it started where the government reserved 30% of the category A schools to public schools. And went to Shraj, and Shraj said, no, it's supposed to be 15%. And that 15% is supposed to be targeted, because not all public schools can be said that they lack resources. Some of the private schools also lack resources. So that is why we went on Shraj. And so in terms of how the system design of, making private education fund is a very awkward in the system. There has been a system design, and we are gradually, resolving them. And now we are on WAEC, and we will resolve that.
Benefo, thank you for your time.
Thank you, my brother, for having me.
Benefo Nana Kwesi Jetwa is the Executive Director, Ghana National Council for Private Schools, speaking to us there. This is Eyewitness News, coming to you live from our studios here in Accra. Later on, we bring you Talk Back, where the views and opinions you express on the stories we bring you tonight on Eyewitness News will be read out to you. I'm encouraging you to do so by sending your WhatsApp messages to the number 0539-986-996, 0539-986-996. Eyewitness News, coming to you live from our studios here in Accra. We'll go for a quick break. When we come back, Fafa Melody will give us an update in the world of news.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Charlie, trim I'm nice. I get some serious meeting. Allah, motion. But Charlie, no credit today. Oh, but you relax. Charlie, you sure say you dey pay back? Yes, so that anytime somebody else they need them, Momo day. Be like I for can't borrow some more. Hey, you this boy. Don't go there and disgrace yourself. Allah, motion.
Responsible borrowing be the real flexo for today's needs and tomorrow's dreams. Borrow, sort them, pay back. Momo day.
Your child can excel academically and in the sports they love and are good at. At Prodigy International Academy, we believe every child deserves to excel in the classroom, on the field, and in life. With an internationally recognized curriculum, an elite sports program, modern, well-serviced boarding facilities, and a strong foundation in Christian values, Prodigy nurtures confident, skilled, and well-rounded learners who are prepared for a global future. Here, sports and academics go hand in hand to empower students to discover their strengths, develop strong character, leadership, and relentlessly pursue excellence. Give your child's full potential a chance. Visit prodigy.edu.gh or call 025-609-7974 to begin your Prodigy's journey. Prodigy International Academy. Excel, inspire, persevere.
You know that feeling when you're getting ready for work. Your shirt is still crumpled and the iron is just starting to warm up. Or you're late for the wedding and now about to blow dry your hair. Or you have just stocked up meat for the cold store and then suddenly, light off. Life just keeps getting paused. But what if your roof, yes, your roof, could keep things running in your homes and businesses? With EcoBank ASAP, you can switch to solar now by getting a loan to buy solar power systems with no upfront cost and easy repayment. Power your life through EcoBank's vetted solar vendors and lower your power bills over time.
Take back your power with EcoBank ASAP. EcoBank, the Pan-African bank.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
Eyewitness News coming to you live from our studios here. I encourage you to send your WhatsApp messages to the number 0539-986-996, 0539-986-996. Fafa Melody is here to give us updates in news.
Well, we'll start from the capital because the Greater Accra Regional Security Council has given residents encroaching on the buffer zone of the Pishi Lagoon at Laboma Beach 21 days to vacate. REXEC says the area in Ladadi Kutupon has been heavily silted and used for unauthorized structures, worsening flooding risk. During a visit to the site, the Regional Minister Linda Obiniwa-Oklu said those who failed to comply after the ultimatum will be forcibly evicted.
We are currently at Laboma. We are here to assess the place and know the kind of building that are designated within the buffer zone. And so all those buildings within those buffers will come down. And so this one, in fact, honestly speaking, we're here to do the exercise. But on a second note, we were told that the occupants, they've not been given enough notice. And so we are here to let them know that we are giving them within 21 days. Those buildings that falls within the buffer should be ready within the 21 days. Either they demolish themselves or REXEC will come back here to do our demolition exercise. And so we are here to assess the place and then know the kind of building that falls within the buffer.
Well, the minister also explained why local authorities failed to stop the structures earlier.
Like you stated clearly, the last time we came, some of the buildings, even at the footage, and so we told them not to continue with the exercise. Are you getting? But sometimes people push us to do whatever, and then at the end of the day, they'll call you all kinds of names. And so they know, the encroachers here knows very well. I'm not sure they even have permits to do whatever they've done here. The assemblies are here. You can find out from whether they've given anybody permitted. They don't have space in the structures. They were prevented, but human beings. You leave in the morning, at night you come, they've raised the structures. And trust me, some of the buildings you see here, within 2-3 days you come, they've raised the structures. And so they work at night. And people here are very armed. And so sometimes we task the assemblies, they are handicapped. Unless they have some kind of enforcement to support them. Without that, they cannot do the exercise themselves. And so that is the issues that came out. The last time even task force came here, they were stuck because the people here are all langas and they were fully armed. And so the assembly couldn't handle them. That is why we've gotten where we've gotten to.
You have the Greater Accra Regional Minister Linda Oklu. Now, the ruling National Democratic Congress NDC will next week begin validating its delegates register as part of preparations for the party's constituency, regional and national executive elections. The exercise is expected to verify the list of eligible delegates ahead of the internal polls, which are scheduled to begin in September. Speaking to Citi News, the acting director of elections of the NDC, Mahdi Jibril, said the party has also begun engagement with the Electoral Commission and the security agencies on arrangements for the nationwide exercise.
So far, we say we've gone far because we have done with the branch elections, where by next week we'll start with the validation of the register of the delegate list. Then from there, opening of nomination will go on. Engaging the police who also started already, and then also the Electoral Commission who supervise the elections. So we say that the party is ready for the upcoming elections from the constituencies. And the issue of when you file, I'm going to file nomination, you'll be told that the officer is also not available. We also resolve it by allowing individuals to file online. So you are picking nomination online, you are filing online. This is also a measure to reduce this issue of people being denied picking nomination or filing of the nominations.
Well, that was the Acting Director of Elections and IT of the National Democratic Congress, Mahdi Jibril. Now, lawyers for the MPP Ashanti Regional Chairman, Bernard Intwi-Boisiako, popularly known as Chairman Wontumi, have filed an application at the High Court seeking bail pending the hearing and determination of his appeal against his conviction and sentence. The application filed by his legal representatives, Zoe Achia and Co., is asking the court to grant Wontumi temporary release from custody while the Court of Appeal considers his appeal. Chairman Wontumi is currently serving a 20-year prison sentence after being convicted over illegal mining activities at Summerboy. His legal team argues that he should be granted bail while the appellate process is ongoing. Now, away from legal matters, the chairperson of the Parliament's Women's Caucus, Comfort Doyo Kujuganza, has condemned comment by the Minority Leader Alexander Appiah-Marking directed at presidential staffer Nana Adjei-Adjei. The Women's Caucus chair accused the Minority Leader of displaying a pattern of disrespect towards women in public office. Speaking to City News, Madam Kujuganza maintained that government officials designated to receive petitions should be accorded the same level of respect regardless of gender.
You compare her to stay there and wait for you the whole day. You compare the president to even nominate her to wait for you the whole day. And you wasted the time for her to wait there for only you to get there to insult her in addition. That's very, very disrespectful. And our minority leader should be careful the way she treats is about women. He should be very, very careful. Because this is not their first demonstration. When we came to power, somebody have received a petition from them before? Or is it because Nana Adjei-Adjei is a woman? Is that why he's complaining? If you said chief of staff or deputy chief of staff or is the one who is to come and receive the petition for you, are they all not government officials? He shouldn't do that to women. Minority Leader Appiah-Marking should not do that to women. And he's fan of that. And we don't want it. He should stop it. He should have women at heart. There should be equity in anything we do. What about the other men who received their petitions? Did he condemn them? You can see the pain in the woman. Why should it be that?
Comfort Doyo Kujuganza is chairperson of Parliament Women's Caucus.
Thank you very much, Fafa, for that update. This is Eyewitness News coming to you live from our studios here in Accra. Let's continue with our stories. And American Ghanaian comedian Michael Blanson has criticized the University of Ghana Medical Center following the death of his mother at the facility, alleging misdiagnosis, poor patient care, and excessive charges. In a lengthy messages on X, the American Ghanaian comedian says University of Ghana is the worst hospital in Ghana, claiming that medical staff failed to properly diagnose his mom condition and all they do is take money from them. But the hospital is unhappy with this comment from the Ghanaian American comedian. And Dr. Bafojan is Director of Medical Affairs at the UGMC, joining us to react to some of these things raised by Michael Blanson. Thank you very much, Doc. You seem not to be happy with this comment from the comedian.
No. I will take advantage and greet your cherished listeners. We are not happy as an institution. We are not happy and we disagree totally with all the claims you make on social media.
Okay, let's take the claims one after the other. One, he says the hospital is the worst in Ghana. How do you respond to this?
Oh, we can't be the worst in Ghana. At least we are very young hospitals with the aim of becoming the best or the quaternary center of this hospital. And my take is that this is one person experience or some individuals experience at the hospital. The hospital started the hospital started with COVID. We all know COVID and what happened with COVID. But that's the hospital where most people came. Now this hospital has grown to it's a 1,000-bed hospital, now admitting more than 11 to 12,000 patients. So when we hear this from one person by his personal experience and say the hospital is the worst That's why we totally disagree, because there's no criteria based on what we know about assessing hospital performance to be saying that the hospital is worse just because possibly you brought your mom there and something unexpected like what you don't want to happen to your beloved person happen, and that doesn't make the hospital the worst hospital. When you get to a hospital is prepared for 3 days. Either they save the life of the patient, either the patient find his way out, or the patient recover with some difficulties. So we know about the patient, but unfortunately, we are not ethically allowed to discuss the detail of the patient information. But what I can say with no regret is that we did not do anything wrong. We did our best to offer the mother the best of care. The unfortunate just happened after 8 weeks in the hospital. So I don't believe you bring your family person there, spend 8 weeks in the hospital, and believe that the hospital was the worst hospital in the country. I don't believe that. And we wish he will find time to possibly come back and retract what he's saying and possibly apologize, because it's not only one person who comes to the hospital. Imagine now a mother bringing the child to the hospital. What would they think? Or a woman coming to deliver in that hospital. What would be the perception about the hospital? So if you have bad experience at certain point of your care, that doesn't make the hospital a worst hospital in the country.
Dr. Bafo,
Dr.
Bafo, did you misdiagnose his mom as he's alleging? Did you?
No, totally no. He knows, and we sat down with him. You see, at times when you don't understand medical terms, some will not say or question the doctors when they're explaining things and you don't understand. If I have to say something, I heard in his argument that, he spent all the money and the mother died and it's infection. He died of infection. It looked like he was surprised to hear that the mother died of infection. But they brought the mother with that infection. The mother came in with the infection. We will not go into the details. The mother was already treated at a different hospital and was referred to our place. So the mother already came in a condition that needed extra hands or extra care, which we try to offer. The mother spent 8 weeks in the hospital, and they are aware. And we have family conferences with them. In most of the times, whatever is going on, any update they needed, we'll give it to them. But unfortunately, when the mother passed and this after all that, he come back and say we misdiagnosed. I can list the 6-7 diagnoses the mother had, and I'm sure 83 years with that diagnosis. We can Google. I can tell you, and you yourself can Google on Google and find out what exactly will be the prognosis of a lady with such pathologies. But we never misdiagnosed. We knew what was wrong with her, and we believe we gave the adequate treatment, and it's just that the body did not respond. That's what I can say.
Dr. Bafo, the other allegation he also makes is about money, and quite a number of people support him on that particular tweet that the University of Ghana Medical Hospital, all you care about is the money, but not the medical, treatment that you are supposed to give to the people. How do you respond to that? That indeed money has become the ultimate, goal for the hospital.
Okay, so let me take it this way. Ghana at times when you change things that people are used to. Let's take it, if you go to any other hospital in this country, when you get there, you want lab, they will write for your mother who is in Techiman to come and maybe go and pay for the lab before the hospital can work with you. And then when you need medication, they will write the medication, and your father or your family member who is possibly somewhere outside has to transfer money before they can treat you. This is what we practice in Ghana. At the UGMC, we decided to do something different. And to show that we care about the patient before money, we spend to save life. And then at the end, we give you your bill. So at times, what happens is that once they are there and they don't know how much they are spending, and the end you give them the bill, they see the thing so huge that they believe UGMC is looking for money. That's it. UGMC bill is not the most expensive in this country. Actually, we are almost the same as most of the teaching hospitals. But what they do is that if they want you to buy antibiotics, they will give you the prescription. The day you bring it, that's the day we give the medicine. And we believe by so doing, it delay care. We delay in giving you the medication at the correct time. So we decided that when you come, we'll tell you to make a deposit, or even just know that we are going to spend, and when it gets to certain value, we will see the family so that at least you can come and pay for it. So imagine if they were paying for everything, the CT scan, the labs, the medication, everything bit by bit, then at the end you will not get that huge bill. But if you spend 6 weeks in an ICU, 6 weeks in an ICU, that is intensive care unit, with a tube, with a lot of things going on with you, and at the end, we give you a bill that is less than $50,000. I don't believe it's expensive. It's just that Ghana will want things sold the best at a very cheap cost. And if you do that, you can maintain the hospital. And we want to maintain the hospital, and actually we put the patient first. That's why the bill is still there. They will give the body to the mother or to the family to go and bury, because he still hasn't settled his bill. His bill is still there.
And you say,
I don't see why
it's less than $50,000 or 50,000 cedis.
You see, I just estimated because it's American related person, I just estimated whatever it is for 6 weeks in the ICU. Actually, some of us have worked outside, and I can tell you 2 days in the ICU is more than the bill we gave him for 8 weeks of admission. So I don't see how UGMC is so expensive.
Now, is your word against his word? Would you be prepared for an independent investigation into this matter?
Oh, we are ready. We have actually done our investigation. We have our report, and anyone, anywhere, we are ready to give up the folder for them to go through. We use we are running a paperless system, so everything is on our software. You can get a copy of it if we have to give it to you. But ethically, we need the permission and the guarantee from the family before you can issue it out. But I can tell you exactly that anybody who wants to take the folder, we are willing. And I have a copy with me even now. So
the many people who will be visiting the University of Ghana Medical Center will have some thoughts coming to the hospital on the back of these comments from Mr. Blanson. What assurance will we give to Ghanaians that when we come to that facility, we may not, or we will not experience what Mr. Blanson says his mom went through?
Okay, so we can tell every patient who comes there, and there are thousands who have come there and live. You know, it's said that wise actions and good deeds easy forget. You see, people like buying the bad things, or the bad things sell. I'm sure in this year we have treated and discharged more than 10,000 patients from our hospital. And then now we get one patient, and the family who has a follower can just put you there, and UGMC is prepared to be the best hospital in this country. And I can assure you that we are doing everything, things that people don't know. That's why UGMC is the only hospital that will do hair transplant. UGMC is less than 5 years old by doing kidney transplant. UGMC is less than 5 years old and is doing heart transplant, or heart surgery, sorry. So we are actually prepared, and we have the qualified doctors to take care of any individual who visits us. And we'll do it with our best to make sure that the patient get the best out of UGMC. So I would just encourage people to ignore some of this and then just have their own personal experience. Come to the hospital, and we are ready to sit down with anyone if any problem is happening. And that's what surprises me. Your family spent 8 weeks. You never complain to management about treatment. You never complain to anybody. Then at the end, because you have the social media and followers, you just throw us there like that. And I'm sure we discussed this thing with our lawyers, and I'm sure they will write to him, because this is damaging to our corporate image, and it is not fair. It is not fair to the mother who is bringing the child to the hospital, and without knowing anything, hears this now, doesn't know if he has to continue the journey to UGMC. And we know UGMC can treat them better, if not best, in this country.
Doc,
thank you.
Doc, I'm getting quite a number of messages. While this interview is going on, I'm getting a lot of messages from people who have been to the hospital and individuals who have experience with the hospital. And on the aspect of the money, I'm getting quite a number of messages people who are saying that, yeah, indeed, that is the practice. The demand for money at the hospital is the practice there. Quite a number of messages on my console.
Yes, I understand that they come out with that. And actually, our hospital was initiated by the first director, Daros Osei. He was the CEO from Trust Hospital. So when he was given the mandate to run the hospital, I'm sure they comb around all these hospitals in this country and then decided that, okay, this is the type of bill we use. And I can tell you, and I will still say it again, our bill is no more than what you spend when you get to Kolebu. But unfortunate is just that in Kolebu, you pay in bits, so you don't see it at the end. And most of the time, if you get to some places and the deposit is not there, nobody take care of you. Our ICU, in compared to the ICUs we know around this country, we are among the cheapest. But again, because we wait till we discharge you, so imagine the person has spent 8 weeks in the hospital, how much will be the bill? And it's not that we are using something small. As he quoted in his thing, that we use expensive medication. Because if the drug we are using is not working and there's another one that will work, we'll discuss with the family and we'll give you what will work or what we believe will work for the patient in. But because Ghanaians are not used to bill after taking care of the patient, that's why they all see it. But if that be the case, we can also opt to, when you come and your father is not there and you did a lab, we'll just write it and wait for you, for your father to come down before. You see, that is the type of medical practice we have here. And to some of us, that is not the right practice. Put the patient first and at the end, give them the bill. It's unfortunate that when you do a cumulative bill and they see it, they all get frightened at the same time that you get 40,000 Ghana cedis. They say, oh, what did that do with the 40,000 Ghana cedis? But if you go outside there and do CT scan, you will not spend less than 1,500 to 2,000 Ghana cedis. And if you do MRI, and it depends the type of MRI you do. So the same patient, you do a CT scan, you do an MRI, you run the lab that we have to send to South Africa. UGMC will run them. So we'll bill you with that lab. And then when we give you, at the end of everything, give you the bill, we say it's too expensive. I don't know what we have to do. And I'm sure Parliament or government is aware of the bills at UGMC. They can send individuals to come and investigate if we are doing something about what Ghanaians can do. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your time. Dr. Bafwajan is Director of Medical Affairs at the University of Ghana Medical Center. Quite a number of messages on the people's experience at the University of Ghana Medical Center. During the talkback segment on Eyewitness, you read quite a number of these messages that you've sent through. But if you haven't done so, remember the number is 0539-986-996, 0539-986-996. Nashika Caesar is here to give us an update in the world of business. Hello, Na.
Hi, Sammy. How are you doing?
I'm well, thank you. What's in business?
Well, economic watchers are calling on the government to bring up measures to sustain or tame domestic inflation.
Definitely. Give us the details.
Right. Economist Professor Godfred Bokpin is urging the government to pursue sustainable measures to further reduce inflation, cautioning that underlying domestic price pressures remain elevated despite the recent decline in headline inflation. Ghana's headline inflation eased to 4.6% in July 2026, down from the 5.3% in June, largely driven by a slowdown in food inflation. Speaking to Citi Business News, Professor Bokpin noted that while inflation on imported goods has moderated, inflation on locally produced goods remains relatively high, underscoring the need for targeted policies to address domestic cost pressures.
Yeah. So, that is the trend that we have observed.
Inflation, good news for July because for 3 consecutive months, inflation has been on the rise from April, May, June. But July, we've seen a slower rate in terms of prices without a measured injection of dollars into the market. The city will come under pressure, and therefore inflation would head up. But we should not be fooled. The reason is that we have not engineered an economy with an enhanced supply base and productive base to be able to support low inflation for long. And for that reason, the future of inflation is upward.
That was Professor Godfred Bokpin, who is an economist. Now, the Social Security and National Insurance Trust, SNIT, increased pensions benefits in 2025, raising the minimum monthly pension by more than 32%, while paying out 7.6 billion cedis in benefits to retirees. The National Pensions Regulatory Authority has disclosed in its 2025 annual report. According to the report, the minimum monthly pension increased from 300 cedis to 396.58, following an average pension increment of 12% effective January 2025.
The average monthly pension also rose from 1,776 cedis 81 pesos to 1,990 cedis 3 pesos. The report further reveals that the Social Security and National Insurance Trust (SNIT) paid out 7.6 billion cedis in pension benefits during the year, while contributions grew to 9.7 billion cedis. Active contributors increased to more than 2.1 million, with the number of pensioners reaching 261,928. The NPRA says the improvement in pension benefits was supported by the continued growth of the pensions industry, with total pension assets under management rising by 28.9% to 111.1 billion cedis in 2025. The NPRA says it will continue strengthening supervision and risk management to safeguard pension assets and protect the retirement savings of contributors.
Daniel Odumensah with that Business Desk report. Moving on, government's planned overhaul of Ghana's procurement system could significantly improve the efficiency and transparency of public spending if fully implemented. This is according to Budget It's Ghana, which says tighter rules on single-source procurement and faster tender approvals address some of the country's biggest fiscal governance challenges. Jennifer Moffat is the country manager of Budget It's Ghana.
I think I want to commend the Honorable Minister. This is refreshing, just like the main budget itself. And we've seen a lot of reforms. For my part, I would look at some of the fiscal reforms, and I'm zeroing it down to the procurement amendments. And if you check all the new reforms, which is like the shortening of the procurement lead times, the limiting of the use of the single source procurement, and tightening of the restricted tendering. They are all good reforms that I think are needed. And also, even if you check the lead time being reduced from 23 to 8 weeks for the national competitive tendering, that's also very good, meaning that things will progress steadily. And also for the international from 27 to 14, very good. I think my main one here is on the restricting the single source and then the restricted tendering, which is very good.
Jennifer Moffat is country manager of Budget Ghana. Now, the Ghana Institute of Freight Forwarders is calling for broader stakeholder engagement ahead of the mandatory registration of shippers on the Integrated Customs Management System, warning that industry players require more time to adequately prepare for the rollout. The appeal comes as the Ghana Shippers Authority intensifies its nationwide sensitization campaign in preparation for the implementation of the mandatory registration exercise later this month. Speaking to City Business News, the General Secretary of the Ghana Institute of Freight Forwarders, Paul Kobina-Mensah, said the implementation timeline is too short to allow for effective industry readiness and compliance.
indication that they are implementing registration of shippers, importers, exporters, and that they will link it to the ICOMS system where to be a mandatory activity. We met them this week, that is on the 5th of August. So we only asked them to maybe do more sensitization and then also allow us, the freight forwarders, to really educate, inform our clients who are the shippers about this new development. And it will surprise you to know that even yesterday was another meeting that I attended, and most of them are not even aware. As a group, we are here to propose a date to them for consideration. So that is what we are here to do. In fact, at that time, we were even asking they should start next year. They said no. Some also mentioned 1st November. They said no. So we are still discussing to come up with the dates to propose to them.
Paul Nik-Amarteifio is the General Secretary of the Ghana Institute of Freight Forwarders, and in City Business News on Eyewitness News. I'm Nashika Caesar. Sami, back to you.
Thank you very much, Nashika Caesar, for bringing us the updates in the world of business. This is Eyewitness News coming to you live from our studios here in Accra. It's now time for Talk Back. Remember, Talkback is brought to you by Valex Lease Equip Limited. Valex Lease, affordable document management solutions. Talkback segment, we bring you the views and opinions you express on the stories we brought you tonight on Eyewitness News. Let's start from Albert in Adenta. He says, I think I now understand why it will take us the next 4 years, so election, to see the MPP return to power. The NDC seem to be ahead of us, and my party leadership is still engaged in the Gadgetsburg style of politics, which is to say the least, fail to appeal to the current generation. We need to change the leadership in our parliament like the way the NDC has done if we really are serious to win elections 2028. MPP, that is coming from Albert in Adenta. Another one from... it says, Wells Yoga, Abutia Tete Water Region says, while we appreciate the quality of service you provide at the UGMC, we also urge you to consider making your charges more affordable for everyone. Access to healthcare should be a priority, but not a right. Affordable pricing does not have to compromise your exceptional quality standard. Instead, it can expand your reach and benefit more individuals in need. This from was Yoga Abutia Tete in the Volta region. Let's get another one from Adolf in New Bawi. It says, Sami, are listening to the minority leader. No one and nowhere did he insult Nanaya Ajantwa. Why are politicians behaving like that? Adolf from New Bawi. An independent body must be okay, I'll get to that one shortly. And this one is on the WAEC issue. It says, why should WAEC punish school kids or learners from private schools? Is it a crime to send your child to private school? WAEC must understand that we all cannot send our wards to public schools because the public schools simply cannot cope with the numbers. Fatete Jabano, head of current affairs at Citi FM and Channel 1 Television, is here to also help us with the message. Fred.
Yes. So Emil from Akwemufi says, Keneje is a solid guy. I've admired him afar. Such a gentle, intelligent, affable guy. Go and make the young people of this country proud. The military can help in the country building apart from peacemaking. This is Emil from Akwemufi. Let's go to Ahassan. Ahassan says, the early ministerial shuffle by the president is a step in the right direction. I respect the president's decision to appoint Kenneth Gilbert Ejay as the defense minister, but I think Zanato would have been the best person for the job. This one is from Paul Aka Jr. in Ahafo. He says, the president has done well and must be commended at least for including Dr. Zanato Rollins. Most of us are happy for the expulsion of Sam George. I think that you are getting things. Sam George has not been removed, but you say you're happy you commend the president for including Zanato Rollins in the new ministerial list. Let's go to Dauda, aka Empire, in the Upper West region, says that the dignity of Ghana is upheld by His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, and keeping our democracy is a top notch under the previous MPP government, who were a soul born by man and could not demonstrate freely.
The message is not clear.
Dauda, please make your message clear. This message is not
Let's
clear
go to the next one. Jones Otherboy in La says, I believe the president has made the right decision and we are very pleased with him. Unlike those who claim they had the men and only saw women, the real men are in abundance in NDC. Sammy, please do this for me. Special thanks goes to La MC Alfredos, the municipal engineer, Honorable Akpoti. Okay, I've done your shout out for you.
Sammy, I think this message is offensive. I mean, you can't say that the real men and the rest are women. Women are also very important, and even do far better than men. Jones, I think you should do better next time. Let's go to Ejaba in Sakina. He says, Sami and team, I am of the view that President Mahama's changes in his team is classic. The dislocation or he says the dislocation of Ahmed cannot be linked to Esiedu Nketia. The MPP, especially Afenyo's politics, will not help the MPP. It will not help them, and therefore should change. This is from Ejaba from Insakina.
Baba Chairman in Tamale says the changes in Parliament is not of any effect. The value will still be the same. Pouring an old wine in a new bottle, the mighty minority is ever ready for the tax ahead, if any at all. Another one from Joseph in Bongo says President John Dramani Mahama is a great and wisdom leader. He waited to celebrate the 1-year anniversary before replacing them. Odo River will be developed to a world-class tourism site. I know Zanato will make a lasting impact on our sanitation challenges.
Kofi from Accra says, for the first time, the private schools are complaining of not being marked well. Could it be that this time around, because of WAEC security measures, the private school could not give prepared scripts to their students or buy exam papers for them? This is from Kofi in Accra. Let's go to Jones in Soweto. Jones says Senator's nomination.
I'm sure he's trying to say Zaneto's
nomination is long overdue. James Agalga will do a good job, but I was expecting the president to reshuffle some George, Eric Opoku, Kwame Agboja. They talk too much, more than they can do. Many of our leaders have been sidelined. The president should know that we came to power not by only few of his friends who are now enjoying whilst others are suffering. This is Jones from Soweto. Richmond in Pillar 2 says, I'm very happy with the changes that have been made on the majority side. Even though Honorable Ayariga has been given a new portfolio, it does not negate the fact that his leadership style was questionable. And so therefore, the new leader should learn from his shortfalls and not take advantage of their numbers to bamboozle their way through when it comes to policy making. Richmond and Plateau.
Okay, Kwame Nadenta says the nomination of James Agaga as the new majority leader is so refreshing. He's a fine gentleman and has what it takes to push the research agenda for the NDC in Parliament. This goes to show the NDC really have the men. Congratulations, James Agaga. City, I am not getting the private school people. Does it mean government schools are not having the same problem? I need to understand something. This from Christian in Bon. Another one says, Sammy, this man in your studio is just chasing after the wind. I don't know what the private school saw in him to make him their... I'll edit that part. It says the charge of exorbitant fees, yet hire less experience and good teachers to teach the learners. Their motive is money and not education. It's late and they should go. This is from Paul from Bichele.
This is from Kofi again. Kofi says, Would the private schools be complaining if they had scored 100% for their schools, as they always displayed in the past, in front of their in the past? And there's a question from Kofi. Kuku from Oyibi says, WAEC needs to set up. I lost trust in them the very day they graded me B in social studies, which class I never attended, not even once throughout my 3 years of studies at the secondary school, but failed me in the subjects I knew very well I deserve good grades in.
But this give and take.
Avle National says, no one is bigger than our laws, the laws of this country. MPP should give us a break. This is Avle National from WA.
Albert in Adenta says, I've listened to the leader of the private schools association. Even though my children attend private schools, I'm thinking that all they are set up for is to make money, which is the challenge to them. If this BEC result hadn't come, would we have known that these are the challenges the private schools go through? They should be there. This one without a name says, how do you blame the government for less UN missions? The UN is facing funding issues and is cutting costs. So why go and lobby for a mission when there is no funding? If you don't listen to international news, you would think whatever the minority are saying makes sense, but it really does not. I'm sure you are reacting in connection to the statement made by the former Defense Minister Dominic Nitiwo.
Zakaria in Mion in the northern region, the independent probe into WAEC assessment is in the right direction, and many people have interest in that regard because many students drop out of school because of WAEC, the way WAEC marks its scripts. So if independent assessment is done, we would have our case dealt with properly. Zakaria from Mion says. Innocent from Pantai, he says, when the private schools were performing really well, you never spoke of these issues. Now that there's a decline in performance, you are calling on Sraj to do what?
This one says, good evening, Citi FM. This is Jones at Atomic Down. What exactly was Honorable Nitiwo trying to say? When Akufo-Addo put him as head of the whole armed forces, what experience was he having? He should give us a break. Peter from Cocoa Village, Tama says, congratulations to Honorable James Agaga and his colleagues on the appointment. Defense Ministry getting a new minister this year after the loss of the good Dr. Edward Omane Boama. Fred, let me do the last one before you come in. This from Ibn Chambers in Wale Wale. He says, I am a living victim of WAEC's exam assessment criteria for determining quality and brilliant students. Millions of brilliant students have been rendered unproductive in society simply because they could not withstand WAEC's short-term exam assessment structure. Let's get serious with this educational structure. Fred.
The issue of WAEC denying private schools the true reflection of their result didn't start today. It's been there for over 4 years. I had a teacher who had scripts in his car booth unmarked, only for results to be declared. How did they generate the results? It's time a committee of inquiry be constituted. It's frustrating for parents who have invested so much in their wards and have to face these things. Daniel Hagan from Adabraka.
All right, Fred, thank you very much. This is a wrap up on today's edition of Eyewitness News that came to you live from our studios here in Accra. Remember, Talkback is brought to you by Valex Lease Equip Limited. Valex Lease, affordable document management solution. And so we'll come your way again on Monday. My name is Sami Uyafe. Show produced by Kwabna Wilson, Fred Tete, Jaban, Omaru Sandamadu, and Beverly Landon and Juliana Odam with technical assistance from Emmanuel Latte. Good night.
City News. We speak